Hey, look, man, being a Raider, straight up, it means so. I don't do gotta wear that. You gotta be that. And when you be that, you feel that. And when you feel that, they feel that. That fearlessness, that pressure. And you know what they say about pressure. Pressure busts pipes. But that also made dimes.
Down inside the 5. Max Crosby.
You might get knocked down. You might get pushed in there. You don't tuck our tail and run. We turn around and up, bite. Because that's the Raider room.
Keep talking.
No matter the record, no matter the school, at the end of the day, you want to make an individual feel the. And everybody got the opportunity to win their one-on-one battles. You start there, I guarantee you, be on top in the winning column in the check game. You here on out, you must go out and play the Raider way.
And welcome back to the Sober and Black Radio Podcast. I'm your host, Raider Will. Along with my gang, I got Raider Gunny, I got Tony Bova, I got Raider Matt, and hey, man, what a great job this weekend by our defense defending the Death Star, baby, defending that end zone, holding them Jets outside in a tight game this weekend. It was an incredible game, guys. I mean, like, literally the first half was a 9-6 game. It was totally defensive. We looked like, we looked like a beat-up sack of potatoes. I mean, like, we were just out there just loafing it, guys. Now, the second half, we come out with an attitude adjustment. I don't know what Antonio went in there and said, but he definitely got our boys fired up. And we came out there guns a-blazing, scored 10 points, and stole a win from the Jets. And, you know, guys, we defended it from the Jets. So, hey, let me get your opinions. Mike, you were at the game, so give us the vibe, give us the feel. Tell me how you felt quarter by quarter, and hit me with your thoughts on the game, brother.
Well, just a disclaimer, I was very drunk at the game. But what I can tell you is that the stadium was full of black. If you look up, you didn't see a lot of green out there. It was kind of dead in that first half. It felt, I think everything you described is exactly how it felt. Like, it was not a lot of excitement in that first half. It was kind of like, oh, it's happening again, right? That's how it felt. I was like, oh, it's happening again. And then all of a sudden, you're right, the second half came through and Mayer gets his first touchdown with that incredible Moss-type catch, right?
Yes,
and,
sir.
And that's where everything came back after that. And then the interception by Spillane. Interception by Spillane. That was key, which I thought the game was over, and it wasn't. Yeah, you know.
Oh man, you ain't.
Yeah, I thought the game was over at that point, but then it wasn't. So it came down to the very last second. But hey, we got the win, man, and that's all that matters. The game was great. The tailgate is always great. So here we go again, off to Miami.
Yes, sir. Hey, Tony, let me get your vibes for the game, brother.
Man, the defense stepped up, like you said, kept us in it. Like, it was a defensive battle. Like, it made me feel like even going to the end, we can rely on our defense to pull one out. And that doesn't happen recently. Like, I still felt like we were in the game, regardless of the score. We were right there. As bad as we were playing, we were still right there. And thank goodness on the Hail Mary that their own guy blocked their own, like, knocked the ball out of his hands. Because, I mean, spotting him up, he was in position, he was there. I'm like, oh, hey. Like, but that works. I mean, I'll take it all day, but it was crazy because I wasn't at my venue that I normally go to. I was at my house, and it was just me. And it was crazy because I'm looking around like I want to talk about stuff, and it was just weird. And so, but so the vibe here, not so cool. But the vibe there must have been just unreal. Like, I can feel it through the TV. The passion is back in Raider football.
Yes, sir. Hey, you can tell the Death Star was a rockin'. Matt, what's your vibe for the game, brother?
Yeah, you see me at the back. You try to get me stand up. Be like,
Yes, sir.
I'm sweating, bro. I was like, man, we are going back to the McDaniels playbook, dude. Like, I was sweating it for a minute, but that second half, man, it was like something clicked. They started feeding the ball to Jacobs. He started just, that touchdown to Mayers was on point, like I haven't seen a tight end jump over somebody like that in a minute, bro. Out in the end zone and catch something like that. It's been a minute since we've seen a red zone score, so.
No, you ain't
Yeah,
lying.
man. I mean, he came out and played lights out at second half. That Spillane interception was. I thought the same thing. I thought it was over. I was like, yeah, we sealed it, and then, we had to take it to the wire.
No. You ain't lying, man. It's kind of interesting to think. Like, we're sitting there and, we're all watching the game. I'm like, first of all, Mike, I'm jealous as fuck that you got to go to the game and, like, sit there and get the environment firsthand, but we'll be there. So, hey, January, we about to get lit, J-Lot. Just know, J-Lot poll 8. That's where I'm going to be at. Find me. Yeah. So, hey, like I said, man, this game was an offensive struggle first half. First half, we were sitting there watching the game. I'm like, man, what are we doing? We can't move the ball. We definitely look like, the old team. We look like the team from not 2 games ago, but 3 games ago, where we couldn't move the ball. We're not cohesive. Offensive line was struggling. We really couldn't move the ball on the ground. And I'll be like, but we expected this. Let's be real. We all said, hey, the Jets defense, they're legit. They're a defense that brings it. Yeah, they had weakness up front, but we have weakness up front. And their backside was their backside. I mean, at the end of the game, though, to say, hey, we ended up with 126 yards on 26 carries and a tutty and a fumble from Josh Jacobs, going over 126 against the Jets, that ain't no joke. I think we went a little bit over. I think we went 138 total or something like that. So we got 10 more yards than what they're giving, guys. So at the end of the day, we turned it on in the second half. It's just like you guys said, Mayers goes out there. We throw the moss, and he picks that thing out of the cookie jar. He pulls that thing in, and I'm screaming, I'm yelling. I think I'm like hyperventilating on the floor a little bit, because we're finally getting the ball moving, and boom, we win the game. It's just like Mike said. I see the interception by Spillane, and I'm like, yo, we got this on lock. Yeah, the game is over. But fellas, we couldn't get a first down. We couldn't get a first down to seal the game. Now, all that being said,
Now we fumbled it.
Well, hey, I don't know the day.
I don't even know if it was a fumble. No, honestly. Yeah.
So let's talk about it. Hey, so what did you see on that play, Mike? Or what did you put? Matt, you said it first. All right. What did you see? What? And in the replays, why in your mind is that not a fumble?
On the field, because so when I first seen the play, like, it seemed like the play was dead, like there was nothing, everybody was in a big dog pile, and, the refs jumped in there. They started looking around. Dude pops up, says we got the ball, like they ruled a fumble on the ground, but, like they didn't see the ball come out. They just seen the guy pop up with the ball, and then they call it a fumble, which it should have been just called a dead play, honestly, in my opinion. It should have just been, he was not, his momentum was gone. Everything was done. He was whatever. But I guess the replay didn't show enough. So it obviously got overturned, because they ruled it a fumble on there. We didn't have enough definitive play to overturn it. So, it kind of came back and bit us. But honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't think it was a fumble. But
no, I got you.
Yeah, what can we say? We don't even have definitive answers. We can't really say it was, and we can't say it wasn't. It was just whatever was called on the field.
Mike, what's your feelings on that fumble, brother?
Hey, who did we play before we whacked the Giants? That game where we had like 3 turnovers, and it's like our first. Well, it doesn't matter. Remember that
Okay.
Max Crosby, Chicago. Remember Max Crosby pulled that thing from under the pile, and you couldn't tell whether or not he was dead up, but they had already called it a fumble, and it was too late. That's exactly. They just got that back. That's pretty much what happened. The NFL took it back. Yeah, he was in the replay. You could tell he was down. But I don't know, man. It was so hard to tell. The play looked over. You know what I mean? It looked like nothing else was happening, and all of a sudden the ball pops out of there. But when they call it a fumble, and you can't tell if he was down or not, it's a fumble, dog. And we almost got screwed with that one.
No, absolutely. Tony.
It was close.
No, absolutely. Tony, your feelings on that fumble? Tony?
He's so right. He froze.
Yeah, he's so pissed off. He froze. So, guys, when we looked at that fumble, I was in the same boat, man. I'm like looking at it, and I'm screaming at the TV, and I'm like, what's going on? But in my opinion, you could see that Jacobs was fighting to try to get forward. I mean, like, and you could tell, like, me being a coach and looking at it from the ref's perspective, the guy's fighting forward. He's leaning forward. There's a big pile of guys. And if you already called it a fumble, you pretty much, that's the way you got to roll with it. So at the end of the day, I'll be like, yeah, I really wish JJ would, put two arms around it, protect the football when there's a big pile of guys around you. And that's all you can really ask for at the end of the day. So, hey, guys, again, big time turnover. Now let's talk about, hey, you guys just hit it. Guys, offensively, we had a lot of turnovers. We had more turnovers than we had touchdowns. So what is it that we have to do offensively to fix those type of situations where we're not creating so many turnovers, where we're not having guys fumble the ball, where, obviously the interception wasn't, a very good one. And of course you're going to get that with the rookie quarterback. But, in your opinion, what do we got to do to fix that? Matt, go ahead.
I mean, if you got to tape the ball to his hands, during practice or whatever, so you don't drop it. So you got to learn how to put that thing in his hand. Now maybe that's what you got to do. He's like, again, from the first game to the second game, it was like a 9-day difference, This game, I think it was a little more, from the second game, he was more on point, was putting the ball, where it needed to be and kept it safe, This time it was more like, I think he felt the pressure from the defense on this one. Like it kind of took him back to the first game that he was there, and he started, I don't want to lose the ball. He lost how many times against the Chargers the first game, So I think he was more worried about losing the ball. So I think, we got to get that confidence in him where, hey, if it's like, take that play, for instance, when they did the little screen pass, and it looked like he just threw it at the feet. Like kind of just a little chip shot throw, just like throw it straight at the ground, but it was a tight end screen,
Yeah.
Which if he did it, he played it right, just got rid of it. The pressure was too much for him right off the bat. They didn't have it. He threw it away, didn't even look for another player. If he's got to do that, he needs to do that. We need to make sure he does that. But I think we need to, we need to make him more comfortable with the guys around that we have around him. And I think missing Miller last week kind of hurt a lot, because that's his blind side, so having that pressure on that side was probably a little bit more, or a little bit too much for him is what I should say. So if we can fix that, get him a little, I think that's what we need to do.
All right. Mike, your thoughts on how we fix this turnover problem?
How to fix the turnover problem? I think what we didn't do is protect the QB, the rookie QB, as good as they could have, with the running game being better. And I got to say, if we're gonna turn the ball over, I'd rather it be the rookie QB that makes a mistake. We can't have Josh Jacobs just fumbling the ball like that, man. He fumbled it how many times? Was it 3? And one out of bounds.
Oh, bad. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
about that one. Yep.
Yeah, and I was like, no way, Josh Jacobs don't fumble the ball. That never happens. Forget it. It will never happen again. And then it happens again. And I was like, wait a minute, man. Hold on to that football, dog. We can't. He's the leader of the team. He's the one that cannot turn the ball over, man. And if if he's the one turning the ball over, we're usually in for a long night. If the rookie throws a bad pass, which he's going to every week, you got to expect a really bad interception from the rookie. You know what I mean? Like, just wow, I can't believe he just threw that shit.
Right.
We can't expect that from the guy who is the leader of the team. That's how it's got to be. But it happens, man. Sometimes you just that ball's got a little grease on it.
No, absolutely, man. And it's like you guys said, in my opinion, man, the way that I look at it, I said, man, let me see what the difference in the game was. And if you guys look at the difference from the Jets game to the New York game, man, it's just the amount of sacks. The amount of pressure that our offensive line is allowing to get to our QB is definitely affecting the way that O'Connell performs. And I think that's really normal for a rookie quarterback that's coming in. Hey, the time gets a little bit quicker. Plays have to come out. Ball has to come out a little bit faster. Things develop a lot faster in the NFL. The game speed. Everybody talks about game speed. Well, you know what? He's not up to game speed. And what do you need? Well, if you're not up to game speed, you need that offensive line to step up, to go out there and do what they're supposed to do. Now, in this game, we gave up 3 sacks. Guys, a lot of people go like, oh, 3 sacks, that's not a lot. I'm like, dude, 3 sacks is a ton. This is not the fact that he's getting hit on certain plays and stuff like that. If you guys think about it, on the play where he hit Mayer, like we talked about it, he went top shelf, right? Hey, look at the play. He's under duress.
Yep.
He made that play by escaping, by using his feet, by coming out, and then he made that play happen. He throws that ball in a spot. I mean, that ball was just in the exact spot it needed to be. Hey, nobody else can catch that ball. And I mean, for him to be able to make that type of play during that type of duress shows me that the kid has what it got. Our offensive line just has to give him time. And if our offensive line is able to give him time, then I think he'll be doing great things. But, guys, like we said, hey, we're struggling offensively. We had Josh Jacobs, fumble, but again, we pulled it off. We got to win. We're still doing well. Defensively, fellas, I think we played an outstanding game. We had 1 interception, 2 sacks. Not big numbers, but we had a lot of stops. Mike, your thought on the defense?
Defense looks good, man. Defense has been looking good, though. I mean, we could say since there was the Bears game where they got blown out. But before that, they were looking good. Had a lapse, and now again we go hit the Giants. Look good. Jets look good. They look like they're flying around, man. It looks like they're out there all making plays together. They're all getting to the ball as quickly as they can and doing it as a gang. So I love what I see. You can tell a different energy in the defense for sure. It's a completely different energy. It's led by Crosby, Amik Robertson making plays all over the field. Even though Peters hasn't made a tackle all season, he's making plays. He's making, every time he touches the ball, it ends up in somebody else's hands. But he's making plays, right? He's getting those tips and all that stuff. And like you were talking about earlier, he should probably be leading the league in picks, but hey, he's making the right plays and other people are getting the picks. So it's all right. You know what I mean? I'll take that and get smoked every time.
No, absolutely, man. I'll be like, it's just like you guys said. Hey, he might not be able to make a lot of tackles right now, but he's definitely making plays in different ways. Now, I think in this game versus Miami, it's going to be a little bit different, but we're going to get into that a little bit later in the show. Matt, so your thoughts on our defense versus the Jets, brother?
Man, I think, from going all the way back to last year, our defense is coming to these last couple games where, we've actually, we got rid of McDaniels and all that, that should be forbidden. But, back when we played with that defense, it was like Patrick, our defense didn't look good at all last year. And it seems like now, everybody's kind of coming together with this Patrick Graham, and they're meshing into it. They're feeling it. And I think now that they see that how hard Max plays, I think everybody on defense is getting that mentality now. Like I said, I think they're all meshing together. They're all starting to get that mentality. Look at Spillane. That guy is all over the field. He's covering guys. He's dropping in. He's rushing. He's making big plays when we need big plays to happen. Meek, same thing with Meek. He makes big plays when we need it to happen. And he may not get a lot of interceptions, but he's there for pass breakups. He's there for tackles. He's around the ball all the time. Whereas you look, like last year, where was he at? He was kind of hit and miss last year. Wasn't even in the lineup on most of the games. So, but our defense is definitely coming together under Patrick Graham from what it was last year to now. And yesterday, or the Jets game proved it. Like if this was last year's team, we would have been slaughtered. I think. So. I think, honestly, to tell you the truth, it's all of us meshing together. They're finally coming together with this, and it's pretty much the same core as last year, minus a couple guys, So
yeah, absolutely. And you guys hit a couple key points there. I mean, like Spillane, AFC Defensive Player of the Week. I think, correct? I mean, like with him being AFC Defensive Player of the Week, it just shows how much of an impact he's having on the game. I don't know if you guys know, but Max Crosby was recruiting this guy. He was the guy that said, hey, I really want to bring this guy in. I'm going to get him on the phone. And I guess he went to Central Michigan, and, Max went to East Lansing. So, I'd be like, Eastern Michigan. So, they play each other. So they already had that camaraderie or that brotherhood. And he called them and he said, hey, man, I want you to come. And from what I see is that he's definitely instilling that dog mentality in a lot of our players. It's just like you guys said, hey, there's not much that has changed, guys. From the beginning of the season till this season, we made 0 moves in free agency. 0. So obviously, guys, we had a lot of things that were in place that were cooking that now have come to fruition. It's just like you guys said. Patrick Graham has this defense playing lights out. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, man, you guys played the Giants. Oh, you guys played the Jets. Bro, these are still NFL offenses. This isn't like, hey, I got some bum sitting there that I just took down the street and I just host them. These guys are still holding these offenses to a low amount of points, and we got put in some tough positions this game. Guys, we had 2 turnovers that got brought to our side of the field. I think it was both of them or not just one of them. I'm not sure on that. But the ball was on our side of the field, and you hold them to a field goal. And you make key stops. It's like you guys said, Spillane gets that interception. Yeah. Guess what? Jets got the ball back. And we still made another key stop defensively. It's just showing me that Patrick Graham really has now got our guys playing. He understands where they can excel. Now, this game right here is going to be totally different. He's definitely going to have to make adjustments. And, versus the Jets and Miami, it's going to be 2 different things. But again, we'll get into Miami later. Guys, special teams. Another thing I want to bring up for this game was special teams. Hey, Carter woke up. Mm-hmm. I mean, I like the way that he averages, he got us into some good positions. He gave us some juice on special teams, guys. Let's talk a little bit about that because that's a big component that has been missing all season long. If you're looking at it, guys, I'll be like, usually we look at our punt return team and we're like, hey, man, we're not going to do much with that. And we're not going to move the ball. But this game, hey, DeAndre Carter came to play. And he definitely showed up. And he did some big things for us special teams-wise. Guys, what is your guys' thought on that? Hey, Matt, let me get your thoughts.
I I mean, yeah, like you said, he turned on the Jets this game. He came in and did what we brought him in for. And, that first run that he had, that first kick, and that guy came up slapping the ball, like close, and then the next one, dude, turned on the burners, man. I thought he was gone for a touchdown, dude. I was like, I was so happy. I was like, man, this is badass. I haven't seen us return a kick in forever, and if you keep playing like that, every game we're bound to have special teams pop off from one of our games too, So I'm glad he's coming along. I was kind of worried, like when we picked him up at first, because I didn't know where we were going to put it. I didn't know we had Renfro and all those guys. We had Renfro returning punts last year, I think, right?
Yeah.
Punts where before, I guess it might have been before because he was hurt last year, but he was our punt returner, and he was actually pretty shifty too in a punt return, but yeah, I think DeAndre Carter is quick, man. Like if he keeps up doing what he's doing, we're gonna get some touchdowns on special teams. That's another thing, like you said, we get all three of them out there, we play a full game with all three special teams, offense, defense. That's how you win games. So
yes, sir.
Let's keep it up.
All right. It's just like you said, Matt, all three phases of the game are super important. Mike, your thoughts on special teams?
It's what they talk about, right? They always talk about complementary football. That's what you hear in like every press conference. Everybody throws it out there. And finally, you got a piece of what special teams should look like, right? I remember seeing DeAndre Carter out there as like, damn Charger. Like that's all I kept saying is like, damn Charger. That's all I remember is Charger, right? We haven't had no real special. The last time check me on this. The last time we had a punt return for a touchdown was Dwayne Harris in Oakland.
Yeah, the Woodward, like it rolled and he picked it up and then took it to the house.
Yeah,
yes, sir. That was originally like the last game in Vegas, I think. Is that what it originally was?
It was in Oakland.
Or last game in Oakland. I'm sorry. Last game in Oakland, yeah.
I don't remember the play.
Yeah, I can remember the play clearly. Like I said, the ball landed like the one, and he started walking away from it, picked it up, took it to the house, right? But look how long it's been. Look how long it's been. Not like that happens all the time, right? It happens a few times a season, but come on, man. We're due for one.
Yeah.
Exactly. No, I agree with you guys, but it's definitely a unique thing where like, hey, man, we need something on special teams to happen. And I know that in this season, if we get a special teams play to happen, it's going to be like a game breaker. Watch, it's going to be something that we need clutch in the game that we're going to be like, yo, that changed the complexity of this game, which, hey, like you guys said, we need all three phases on special teams. And now we're talking complementary football, right? We said, hey, we need all three phases. Guys, like you guys said, we already talked, Josh Jacobs had that Bo Jackson-like mentality. I mean, like Mike was telling us, hey, we're going to slug it to them. We're going to give it to the Jets until they can prove that they can stop the run. And man, did we do that? I mean, like we slugged it with them 26 times. We force-fed Jacobs. Now you got special teams rolling in, changing the ball position for us. Defense is playing. We got just get O'Connell going. Man, we got a lot of things cooking in Vegas. We got a lot of things cooking for the Raiders. Now we got to get all that juice going and all those things cooking, and do the same thing we did in this game, which is play disciplined football, guys. I mean, honestly, like we said, talking earlier, looking at the stats, we should have got blown out this game. We should have hey, man, it's kind of odd. The Jets led in every single statistical category that you can think about. But they also led in one that I don't know what you guys thought, but this is the first time I've ever felt that we didn't have to fight the zebras. But hey, we played some good, clean football. Guys, the Jets had a lot of key penalties in key situations that we're used to having on our side.
Yeah.
And right now people are like, oh, the locker room, people are smoking cigars, having parties in there. but guys were playing disciplined on the field. Let's talk a little bit about that. Hey, Mike, how do you feel about our discipline on the field and how we actually won the penalty war this game?
Man, you know what? I don't even know how to talk about that. Is it discipline? Is it what? What is it? What is it? You know what I mean? Sometimes I feel like the NFL just hates us. You know, we get crazy shit like holding on the defense on a run. You know what I mean? That changes the game.
Holding on.
Yeah, something that completely changes the game. Like, how did that happen, man? But I mean, the Jets made a lot of bonehead plays, man. Like the roughing the passes going low on O'Connell. That was bonehead. You know, they did a lot of bonehead things. So, I mean, if it's that obvious, bro, you're going to get called for it. But, I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not getting penalties called on you, then you must be doing something right. And, again, that probably speaks to Antonio Pierce more than anything is, you know, they're not being sloppy. They're not loafing like you said earlier, right? So, if that's the case, then you see it on the field, man. Sometimes I feel like it's a big conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, when you're, you know, the cooler heads prevail, you can say they're just playing better. They're just playing better, especially on that penalty. I didn't even notice that I didn't even notice that we had any penalties that game. Did we?
Yeah, we had 3. We only had 3 penalties the whole game, which to me, I'm like, whoa.
Super clean.
I don't remember the last Raiders game that we only had 3 penalties, to be honest. So, hey,
super clean.
Matt, your thoughts on this clean game and this disciplined game played by the Raiders?
Yeah, like I said, Mike said, you know, hold on, how was I going to say this? The first half, you know, we had 1 penalty for 10 yards. They were shooting themselves in the foot on key plays. You know, they'd get down into the red zone. They had touchdowns. They could have easily beat us by more than what we scored, you know. But they shot themselves in the foot. And I was, like I said, you know, we're not used to seeing that because it's usually us in that predicament. You know, we're usually the ones shooting ourselves in the foot. But, you know, and I think, like you said, we got a coach that gets onto our guys in a certain way that, you know, they feel bad when they mess up, you know, and I think that they're, like I said, you know, with defense, you know, they're all meshing together. Everybody's starting to come together, you know, and we may not play a pretty game, but we played one this last week, you know, when it came to, you know, penalty wise. It's been a long time since we've seen a game where we were the ones that came out with the least amount of penalties. So, I mean, if we can just keep it up, you know, that's another phase to the game. You know, let's keep penalties low and let's play solid in all 3 phases, man. And that's how we're gonna be dominant in the future and here on out.
Absolutely.
No, you guys ain't lying, man. I'm like, when we look at it and you play disciplined football, it changes the whole aspect of the game. If you guys watch the game again, like with the Jets, there are some plays, man, where they are about to score 7, where they can keep driving, where they keep going, and you get a penalty, and it just crushes you, and it holds you back, no matter whether it's a hold or whatever. Hey, man, and we know that there's a big difference between 7 and 3. You know, it makes a huge difference. Mm-hmm. So, hey, Antonio Pierce, this has you written all over it, man. This team is playing for you, and there's a key word here, guys, that I want you guys to hear, is accountability, okay? Because guess what? Antonio Pierce has accountability. So now his players have accountability. There was a coach previously there that never did anything wrong. That was always execution, and it was always the player's fault. Yep. So, you know, it just goes to show that when your coach has accountability, when he holds himself to a high standard, guess what you're going to do as a team? You're going to hold yourself to another high standard.
Message.
You right? So, hey, ding dong. Shoot, you better get it, boy. Hey,
word of the day.
Absolutely. So, accountability. Yes, sir. Hey,
so like Poll 8 or whatever you said.
Poll 8. Accountability poll. All right. Yo, but guys, now talking about accountability and everything like that. Right now, we really got to look at, going into Miami and developing a different thing and coming in as a different team. Miami's built totally different from the Jets. We talked last week, Jets are defensive powerhouse. Their backside, they're the ones that, control everything, help the front side. Boom, boom, boom. Miami built totally different. Guys, these guys are built offensively with a ton load of speed. I mean, they got Ferraris everywhere. You got Walker. You got the Cheetah. Their running game's on point. Hey, obviously, we hired Deron McDaniels because the creativity in Miami is going off the chain. I mean, these guys do things that people can only imagine. I love the creativity, the way that they're using Tua. What do we have to do to get this win in Miami, fellas? I mean, in your opinion, first of all, let me get your vibe for what we have to do offensively. Because offensively, I know for a fact that we're going to have to score points. And the amount of points that we scored this week ain't going to cut it. 16 points, I think, total. That ain't going to cut it, not versus Miami. So what do we have to do, and what do you guys see that we have to accomplish in order to be more efficient in Miami? And hey, I'm going to start with Mike on this
one. Okay, so I like to watch the like post games and all that stuff, and during the week watch Antonio Pierce or the players come in and talk a little football with the press, right? So it's kind of funny because you hear Antonio Pierce it only almost tips off what he's trying to do, when he's talking about it. He said, it's right up front, he said, well, we're going to put on our track shoes. And I said, okay, well, that sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? We're going to try and keep up with Miami. We're going to throw, we're going to try to outscore them. That seems like a recipe. And then he says, there's two things that travel well in the NFL. It's defense and a good run game. That was what he left off with. And I said, here we go again. This is what we need to do to beat these guys. And the way I see that happening is we got to slow them down. We can't give them the ball. We can't turn the ball over 3 and out. We got to have an effective run game. We have to get the ball down the field. You know what I mean? And chew up the clock, because that's how you slow down a fast offense. You got to chew up the clock, get them off their sync. Don't let them on the field. And that's how you win that game. I don't think we can win a shootout versus Miami. It's just, if we get into an offensive shootout, it seems like a recipe for disaster, because we're asking Aiden O'Connell to do a lot in that sense. So I would say it is exactly that, defense and run game. Like, I sound like a broken record, but as long as we do that and we keep the game time of possession on our end, we'll slow them down and have a chance there.
I get what you're saying. I'm going to give you my thoughts after Matt. Give us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, pretty much nailed it right there, Mike. It's definitely our defense is going to have to step up this game. Like the first game was offense. We needed to get more involved. We need to get our players involved on offense. We did that. Second team was more special teams. I hit on that last week. I think, it was going to be a little tougher game because of our defenses this time. Miami's not known for a real good defense. They're not a Jets defense. We'll just put it that way. They're not a Jets defense, but they're not a joke either. They're not somebody that's just going to lay over and you're going to score a bunch of points on them.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, I think we need to, I think we need to get all three phases involved in this game. I think we need to play a penalty-free game in order to win. I think key is defense, man. We're going to have to play, we're going to have to come with everything we have on defense, man. We're going to have to stop Tyreek. We're going to have to stop Waddle. They got Mostert back there. I think H-Hand's out still, but, still, seriously, Mostert's no joke either, man. That dude's a track star, so we definitely going to have to get our linebackers, if we have to keep a spy back there, on some, certain plays and things like that, double team certain people, bring guys down from the top to help out with these receivers that are quick, man. Keep Spillane, man. Let Spillane just keep balling out like he's doing, man. He's, like I said, he's in the right spot at the right time. He knows what he's doing. He's got a motor like Max, he plays hard, and he keeps it going all game long. So I think key to this game is defense, and run the ball, pass the ball. Let's just keep the ball safe is what I say on offense. If we can just keep the ball safe and make good plays, like I said, I'm not asking Aiden O'Connell to go down there and have a shootout with him, like you said. That's going to be impossible for us. There's no way we can do that. So just have him put the ball in the right spot, and let's make the good plays out of it, and let's put him in the spots to make him succeed and make our team succeed, even if it is one end of the field to the other and having our running back run it in. Let's do it.
Yeah,
that's one thing I heard also with Antonio Pearson, want to throw out there, that's kind of like a subtle change, but probably a huge change, is he said that they were scheduled to be in Miami like prior. They probably schedule all this stuff out, right? Get the hotel, get all that stuff going, make sure how long you're going to be there, where you're going to practice. He said they were scheduled to be in Miami a little bit early, and he put an end to that shit. You know why? Because motherfuckers still be in Miami acting up. Of course, it's Miami. So that's how you end up loafing on a Sunday. You see what I'm saying? So he put an end to that shit, and now I don't know when they're going to fly in. Maybe they'll fly in on Friday or get a practice in on Saturday, and then Sunday go for it. But there's no time. There's no time to play now. And he changed the practice time this week to an East Coast time when it's about to start. Little tiny subtle things that he's doing makes a big difference on Sunday, man.
No, absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on that, okay? So Antonio Pierce went to the players, and he said, hey, guys, do you guys want to go there earlier, or do you guys just want to do this? And the players selected not to go to Miami early. So he listened to his players, and he said, hey, guys, you know what? If this is what you guys want to do, then we're just going to practice a little bit earlier, get up a little bit earlier, so that way we travel. And I think that's a unique thing that he does, is listen to his players, right? Get their opinions, bring them in, and give them that accountability. Keyword, accountability for the day. He says, hey, well, we're giving you guys these plays. It's just like when he went to Josh Jacobs, he goes to the offense and says, guys, what plays do you want to run? Oh, I like this play. I like that play. Guess what? That makes you more accountable, because you're the one that's saying there, man, I can make this happen, so we're going to make this happen. Now,
so I think...
Go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But like you say with the players, he's coming in and he's asking the players things. I think he's doing it with the coaches too. I think he's holding everybody to that same standard. It's not just the players, man. It's the coaches too. He's holding those coaches up here too with them, and he's making them, he's asking for their feedback too. It's not all just about the players. I think he's bringing the whole organization as one together, because he's new at this too. He's not coming in here acting like McDaniels. I'm this guy that knows everything, and I can, just let me take control. He's giving control to everybody, and he's letting everybody have a say so in it. And I think that is what we need.
No, absolutely, and that's what he is. I mean, if you guys see what he told Bo Hardinger was to go to the players. So everybody's working together. You can see the team is coming together and working as in unison. And again, what that does is make players more accountable. It makes coaches more accountable. Everybody's being held to a different standard. Now, for this game versus Miami, guys, I think you guys hit the nail on the head. We have to run the football, play good defense. But here's my key component here, is we have to challenge our offensive line to keep us sustained drives, okay? Because we can't get into a track meet with Miami. We can't score 48 points. I'd be like, I'd love to say, guys, we're going to score 50, 60 points. We're just not built that way. Guys, look at this last game. Sauce Gardner was all over Devontae Adams. Devontae only had 6 catches for 86 yards with a 14.3 yard average. I mean, at the end of the day, he has to do better. Ball distribution by Aiden O'Connell has to be better. All those components rely heavily on the offensive line. And for us, defensively, since we are a defensive powerhouse, That's where we're spanking our money right now. We need to keep our defense off the field, keep them fresh, keep them going. And that's sustained by having a good sustained running game, by, using that and play action in order to create holes in the secondary for us to be effective. And those are all key things that I think we need to do against Miami in order to get the ball out of their offense's hands and put us in the most prime position to win this game. And at the end of the day, I think you guys hit the nail on the head. Good defense, run the ball. Guys, we are going to look like the 2001 Ravens. We're going to be out there hammering people, and we got Trent Dilfer. It doesn't matter who's at the helm. Just give me 12 points, and we're going to win this game. That's the way we're going to start winning games. I'd be like, that's the new Raider way, baby.
We don't have to pump up a bunch of points to do it. You just got to play solid football. That's all it is.
Absolutely. And that's what it is. Guys, and that's what we have to do every single game right now. The Jets game, the New York game, we've seen consistency. We've seen good defense. We've seen us run the football. I don't care. This is the solution that we needed. A lot of people right now are saying, the Raiders need to pass the ball more. Why? Why do we need to pass the ball more? And we can win the ball by just running. We can win this game by running the football. Guys, give me your thoughts on that and give me let's get into this, man. Because honestly, a lot of people are saying, O'Connell needs to throw the ball more. We need to get out there. And guess what that's going to do? That's going to give us turnovers. That's going to put that kid in a position where he's just not going to excel. We cannot get into a freaking shootout with Miami. Bro, I don't care what nobody says. We can't have it done. So, Mike, let me get your thoughts, man.
It's called impatience, man. That's what it's called. Raider Nation has an impatience about them. And I'm not mad about it because we're like I think I said this before, we're on like the 25, 30-year plan or something like that, right? So I get it. It pisses people off, but you got to be realistic, man. You can't just have the kid throw 35, 40 times a game and expect that you're going to get good results from that. It's his third game in the NFL. He's a 4th round pick. He's not a 1st round pick. You know what I mean? And he doesn't look like he's Tom Brady to me. So I don't know what everybody's worried about. Let the kid grow into a spot. And we have the pieces and the ability to keep him clean. We just got to do it, right? But no, it's a little bit of impatience from Raider Nation. There's a lot of people calling for his head already, and it's like, hey man, who are we gonna put in there? You want Jimmy G in there? What do you really want to put in there? We don't act like, bro.
We don't.
We don't have a choice but to play the 4th round rookie, dog. So let him play.
Well, I mean, like we just made that choice.
They had a choice. No, they didn't. They looked at the bench, said, hell no. Hell no. There you go.
Oh, hell no.
Let's see what you got.
Hey, and you're like going like, hey, Rudy, at the end of the bench. Hey, Rudy, get in here.
Come on over there. Get in there. Guys, you're the only one I haven't seen play yet.
Yeah.
Bro, that's not much of a choice. Yeah. Maybe you'll be the next Tom Brady.
Because I mean, like, hey, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. I mean, like, everybody right now that I talk to is telling me, man, we gotta throw the ball more. I mean, like, he got to get down there at least 40 times and chuck the ball. And I'm like, no, man. I'm like, every single Raiders fan I talk to, yes, we are enamored with the deep ball. The deep ball got invented because of the Raiders. Okay. Yes, I get it. But man, that's not the only way to move the football. We got Mayers, we got all these other guys. They're not burners. I mean, like, we got Trey Tucker, we got DeAndre Carter that are burners, but guys, they're not the number one receiver. So at the end of the day, I'm like, man, we just got to be real with it and be real with these Raiders fans and be like, hey, man, we're developing this guy. He needs more pieces, et cetera, et cetera. But hey, Matt, hit me with your thoughts on how we're going to develop AOC and whether he should throw the ball 45 times this game versus Miami.
Dude, I said this earlier in the season, man. If you're going to start AOC, you start him. You stick to your guns and you start him all season. You Can't pick him out, put him in whatever games you decide he's going to do good in, and then pull him out when you think he's going to do bad. You're never going to develop anybody that way. So, we can stick Jimmy G back in there, but everybody knows that guy ain't got no deep ball, man. He can't throw the ball. So what do? They stack the box, man. That's what they did all year. And then what does he do? He throws interceptions because our offensive line isn't good enough to protect him. That and his happy feet, the dude dances around in the pocket. So, then, like, you hit on it again. Who's our other backup?
I don't even remember his name, man.
I don't either. That was that guy that oh, hell no. That was that guy. So, hell no. What? We ain't got nobody else. So you put in AOC. You let him roll with it, Yeah, he's going to have mistakes, man. He's a rookie, dude. He's not. Yeah, exactly. You hit it. He's a 4th-round pick. He's not a 1st-round pick. He came from a small college. He didn't come from big UCA or USC, any of those.
Bro, he came from the Big Ten. He's from the Big Ten. He's from Purdue. Purdue ain't no slouch school. Yeah, he's from Purdue, so he don't come from no slouch school.
No, not like not gonna slouch school, but I mean, he's. It's not
like one of the Big Five. It's not a Big Five program. I got you.
Yeah. So, he was a 4th-round pick, but he's got potential. He's got a lot of potential, and potential is what you need. And if you can keep riding with potential, that potential turns into greatness, and you just got to keep rolling with it, man. You got to get the offensive line. They got to give him help. Once we get that fixed and we give him, let him get used to this offense. Let him figure some things out. He's, like I said, he's a rookie. Going to have mistakes, but let him learn from those mistakes. Don't punish him for the mistakes. Let him learn from them. The three fumbles that he had the first game, he learned from that the second game. And then in the third game, what was he doing? He was too concentrated on not fumbling the ball to where when he was throwing it, he was making bad decisions with the ball. So I guess, again, come back to the offensive line on this. They gotta help develop him. They gotta help him out. They can't rely on him to go out there because nobody with a shitty offensive line is going to be able to throw 40 times a game and complete it and win and have shootouts. There's nobody in the league. It doesn't matter who you are, Brock Purdy or Tom Brady. You gotta have an
absolutely. No, and it's just like, again, we came back to the offense and we keep saying this key thing, offensive line. Why? Because it helps the run game. Why? Because it gives O'Connell time to throw the ball. It gives him time to see the field and to make the correct decisions, right? So we talked all offense. We talked about the things that we needed to do offensively. We said, hey, play really good defense. Run the ball. Protect O'Connell. Do the right thing. And that's how we're going to win in Miami. But guys, we said play good defense. What constitutes playing good defense in Miami that is going to say, hey, this is the way we're going to stop the ball? First of all, let me get your thoughts on how we're going to stop the Cheeto and Waddle outside. Guys, we're definitely going to have to pick our poison. Now, what do we do? We got Marcus Peters, who has been, we know what Marcus Peters is. He's an older guy, but I know for a fact right now, he can't step for step stride with the Cheetah. He can't go step for step with Waddle. Okay, we got Ja'Cory and Bennett, because I don't know if Meek's going to be back. We all know that Meek is under concussion protocol right now. So you got Ja'Cory and Bennett, who has been a struggling corner on the other side. Guys, if you guys are Patrick Graham right now, besides saying, hey, I get it, bring more pressure, get the ball out quicker, there has to be coverage adjustments that you have to do. There has to be something like that on the backside. So what is your adjustment and what do you do? Hey, I'm going to start with Matt.
Man, I think, you kind of said it, just now, but we got to get pressure on the quarterback, because the more pressure we get on Tua, the more he's likely to throw interceptions and have, fumbles and stuff like that, So, I mean, besides that, to stop, the outside with Waddle and the Cheetah, I would say, it starts with the edge. It starts with our line. But they gotta help each other out with the backfield. We gotta contain them into short yardage. We can't let them burn us on the outside. We gotta make sure that none of them can get one-on-one and be able to burn us for 50 yards on one pass, because there's nobody that's going to be able to either one of them. They're both track stars, dude. They're both fast, dude. So, I mean, you put Corey and Bennett, even Meek on the other side of SA, he was healthy. You put both those guys on there, neither one of those guys are going to match stride for stride for either one of those other guys. They're going to get beat every time. So, we're going to have Merrick. We're going to have Epps. We're going to have some of our linebackers come in and, make little chip shots, shit like that, come in and, make disguises in the back, make it look like, split, come back out of it, send your linebackers into coverage and keep everybody short and shallow, man. If you can keep them short and shallow, they're fast, but you got more chance with more guys that close than you do with one or two guys out the deep end that are going to get burned no matter what.
All right. Hey, Mike, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. What am I gonna figure out that what is it? Nine other defensive coordinators haven't figured out yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can say let's keep them short, but we've seen the Cheetah run right past the double team and score for a touchdown. What I'm saying?
Like, there's really no stopping them. It's just we got to come together.
Got to contain them, right? You can only hope to contain, like they say. I hate to say it, but the defensive secondary is only going to be as good as the trenches, man. That's just what it comes down to. I mean, if you let Tua make a deep decision, he's going to score a deep pass on your ass, and it's going to be one of those two that are going to run right past whoever you put out there. It just is, man. You expect guys to run stride to stride with somebody with no pressure on them. You might as well mail it in today.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Guys, I 100% agree with those guys. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, Raider Nation, listen up. If y'all want to know how we're going to beat Miami, I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh, here we go.
We are going to make it into a fucking slugfest, baby. We got to get in there and get in everybody's face. If you're the Cheetah, we need to hit them. If they're Waddle, we need to hit them. We need to make them think 2 times about catching that ball. We need to bring the physicality aspect out. We need to come in there and say, hey, we just going to kick your ass all game long, baby. Because if you look at it, hey, the way that Miami lost this last game, fellas, bro, they only had one guy on the defensive line, and we got one guy on the defensive line, and he is an absolute dog, baby. So we just got to get out there and let them have it. Guys, it's just like you guys said. Defensively, hey, there's no solution, baby. There is no solution. Except bringing that extreme physicality and that old school Raider football, baby. The Raider way, where we're just going to hit you in the face repeatedly. It's just like, oh, there we go. Strap up, baby, because we're going to be ready to ride Raiders defense. Hey, if we come in there, I'm telling you right now, I'm willing to take a 15-yard penalty to light up Tua. I mean, that's well, hey, you have to get in there and just come in there and be physical.
Say that on camera, bro.
Say it. I'm saying I'm not no coach. I mean, like, what am I going to tell him? Hey, tell the guys I got $1. I'd be like, I got $1. Shoot. I got $1. Shoot. Hey, but fellas, that's what I'm telling you guys right now. Defensively, that's just my only solution. I think when you get a team that just goes in there and it's just absolutely way more physical than you, a team that's just going to go in there and say, hey, man, I don't care. Like, I know you're faster. I know you're more finesse. Now, I'm just going to cut him in there and I'm going to beat your ass. Guys, we've seen it. I'll be like, hey, I've seen it in boxing. You see the boxers, the guys that move around, they're like, shh, shh, shh. And yeah, you know what? Then you get that bulldog. Yeah, he's going to take his licks. Yeah, he's going to wait for his shot. But once you get your shot and you take it, knock him out, baby. Because guess what? If we do that, it only takes one big hit to knock out Tua. And we saw what happened with Miami when Tua wasn't there. They struggled. Hey, I love the Cheetah. I think the Cheetah is one of the best players in the league. As soon as he gets the ball, I mean, like, the dude is a walking mismatch. But we said two key things. Speed. In order for him to have speed, he has to get going. Guess what? What happens when you catch him when the ball's right there and you hit him? You just light him up like a Christmas tree, baby. He's going to start thinking about it. Guys, that's what we need to do, in my opinion. Defensively, make it into a slugfest. You know, like you guys said, run the football, control the line of scrimmage, be more physical, be nasty, and just bring it. If we do that every single play against Miami, bro, we're going to be in it at the end. All right, guys. Well, you know what? We talked a little bit of Miami. We said what we got to do. Now, hey, give me your 3 keys to victory, Mike, versus Miami.
Complimentary football, man. Offense, defense, special teams. Run the ball, like I said before. Play some damn defense.
Let's go. Defense. Yes, sir. Man, 3 keys to victory, baby. Let's go.
He nailed all 3 of them right there, man. All 3. Special teams, offense, defense, man. I mean, we got to pound the ball. Like you said, you got to come out, punch them in the mouth, man. You got to keep punching them, man. Roll with the punches. Go out there, run the ball down their throat, score touchdowns, not field goals. You know, we got to, even if we got to go for it on 4th down, you know, let's do it. You know, let's play. Let's not be weak in this game. Let's show them dominancy in all 3 phases, and let's keep the penalties down again, because that's another key phase, man. We got to keep the penalties down. That's kind of what helped us last week.
No, absolutely. I think we need to play disciplined football, but hey, our 3 keys to victory, right? I already told you guys, hey, rule number 1, we got to control the trenches. I mean, offensive line-wise, defensive line-wise, it's going to be too crucial in this game for us not to do that. I mean, like, we have to pound the rock. We have to be defensively stout, and that's done by our defensive line, and they got to come with it. We got to be violent at the point of attack, and we just got to run through these people repeatedly, like Marshawn said, over and over and over again, right? So, hey, then we said defensively we got to be stout. So, hey, let's make it into a slugfest. Let's whoop the shit out of Miami in the physical aspect of the game. Any single time we see a receiver crossing the middle, we need to hit him. Any single time you get a free opportunity to hit somebody that is legal, hit them. You know, bring that intimidation factor. And 3, it's like you guys said, we need all 3 phases of the game to play together, to come together and play as one. We are going to need special teams to make big plays and to change field position for us, to come in there and put us in a good spot on offense, and defensively, man, to hold them back, to pin them back. AJ Cole, do your thing, baby. Pin them back, keep them inside the 10, 15, 20, and let's ride. Guys, I mean, like, and that's pretty much for me. I mean, like, that's what I think our keys to victory are. And, man, let's move forward from this, fellas. Now, hey, last part of the show, we got the Pick'em Challenge, guys. Hey, right now, you know, Tony faded out. You know, so what are we at from last week, Mike?
Tony called 4 games, I believe, last week. He went 4-9. I went 9-4.
Oh, 4-9 and 9-4. About what were you last week?
Hold on 1 second, man. I pretty sure I had. Man, I didn't do really good at all last week. Honestly, I'll get back to you in a second. Yeah, I lost a bunch of games I shouldn't have lost.
Hey, all I know is right now, all that sounds like Mike is in the lead. All right. Hey, he is in the lead for the lead.
I still got time.
Shoot. Hey, we're only halfway through the season. It's just like the Raiders right now, baby. We still in a playoff spot. People think, hey, we out of this. We're not out of anything, man. We're still in the fight. We still fighting for a playoff position. So, hey, let's keep working. All right, guys. Hey, let's start it out with this week. Hey, Mike, who do you got? Bengals, Ravens.
Bengals, Ravens. Ravens are at home, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me bring that up. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I don't think they lose 2 in a row, especially not at home.
Got it. Matt.
Bengals, Ravens. They both lost, didn't they?
Yep.
Ooh, man,
Yep.
both lost good ones too, man. I don't know. They're both gonna be pissed off on this game. You know, I'm gonna go with the Bengals on this one.
Gotcha. Bengals. Hey, all right. We split on that. All right. Hey, I got Steelers, Browns. So let's start with Matt.
Steelers, Browns, man. Oh, this is gonna be a good game. Man, it's gonna be another good game of the week. John Watson's out for the season, as I heard today.
Deshaun Watson's out for the season.
Yeah, shoulder surgery. Shoulder surgery.
That's a lot of money sitting on that bench.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Browns on this game.
I got you. All right, Mike, what you got?
I'm going to take the Steelers, man. Browns came off a big win against the Ravens. Lose Deshaun Watson. They're probably feeling a little deflated now. Let down.
Let down again. You know what? Let me tell you like this, man. Hey, that Browns defense looks legit. So, hey, if the Steelers pull that one out, I'll be shocked because they look like they've been struggling this season. But, hey, I can definitely see how you guys split on that one. Hey, now I got Renz, Dolphins. Mike, who do you got?
I'm taking the Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders for all the reasons we already said.
Hey,
Punch him in the mouth.
let's get it, baby. You know we got to play that punch them in the mouth football versus them Dolphins, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Bat.
Oh, man,
Raiders?
I got Raiders all day, baby. Ain't no, you ain't even got to ask me that question, bro.
Let's go. All right. Hey, I got
all year for Raiders, all right?
I just marked it down on you. Got you. That's why I don't go to Vegas and bet. Hey, I got Bears, Lions. Let's start with Matt.
Bears, Lions. Give me the Lions on that one.
All right. Hey, Mike.
I like the Lions too. Obvious. I think that's an obvious choice at home.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. Titans, Jags. Mike.
Give me the Titans, boy. I don't believe in the Jags at all.
He said, "No terror slurs from me, baby. No, what's that movie? Sunshine? No sunshine over here today, baby." Hey, Matt. So let's go Titans, Jags. Who you got?
I would go with Jags on this one. I've been to the Titans twice this year, and they have let me down. So I'm going with Jags on this one.
And Matt's like, "Oh, I got sunshine, sunshine."
Yeah, sunshine.
Yeah. All right. Hey, we got Chargers, Packers. Matt.
Ooh. Man, give me the Chargers on that one. I hate to say it, but give me the Chargers.
No, charge these nuts for Matt.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, John, please. Does this seem like a game the Chargers like to lose?
Right?
At Green Bay in the cold up there? Give me the pack. I ain't picking no damn Charger.
Oh, the Packers did an upset for Mike. Let's go.
Dang. I told you there's still time for me to come back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you keep coming up with upsets, buddy. I want to keep track.
Right. I got Cardinals, Texans. Let's start with Matt.
Cardinals, Texans. Dude, that's gonna be a good one. Give me Houston on that one.
All right.
I like the way that quarterback's playing.
Oh, CJ Stroud's a beast. Let's not get it confused. Hey, Mike, who do you got?
Pretty good. I really want the Cardinals to win this game because that puts us closer to getting into the wild card spot, right?
Yeah, but you ain't lying.
I got to take the Texans, dude. Let me get
all right.
I'm sorry.
Texans. I got you. Hey, we got Cowboys, Panthers. Let's start with Mike.
Oh, this is disgusting. Give me the Cowboys.
I already know what Matt's going to say. Matt, I got Cowboys Panthers. Who do you got?
And a lion, baby.
Like Panthers. Like nobody likes them cowgirls. Cowgirl Nation.
Nothing. Brooks to pick them.
Oh man. Hey, so I got Giants Commanders. Let's start with Mike.
I'll take the Commanders at home.
Okay. Matt.
I don't even know who's playing quarterback for the Giants anymore.
Yeah, I don't either. DeVito. It's Danny DeVito. Or
She.
yeah,
DeVito.
DeVito. Something like that. I know his last name's DeVito.
Yeah. Put me down for the Redskins on that game.
All right, got you. All right. Hey, I got Bucks 49ers. Matt.
Bucks Niner. Give me San Fran on that one.
Okay. Mike.
Yeah, we're in agreement there, man. I'm taking the Niners.
All right. Hey, so I got Jets, Bills, Mike.
Ooh, well, the Bills coming off a shitty loss, man.
I mean, like, yeah, you got turnovers machine over there, bro. You got a turnover machine.
I got to go with the Bills, man. Just because they're at home and they coming from a big letdown.
Hey, they just fired their offensive coordinator, too, Ken Dorsey.
Yep.
So
Even nobody helps us in this situation. I mean, the Jets, I guess the Jets have a worse record than we do now, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's not about getting into the playoffs during these picks. It's about who's going to win these games, and I'm taking the Bills.
All right. I got you. All right. Hey. Matt. Jets,
man.
Bills.
You know what? I think we see eye to eye on this one again. Buffalo on that one.
Dang. All right. Hey, I got Seahawks, Rams. Matt.
Dang. Give me Seattle.
Gotcha. Hey, Mike. Seattle.
Lamb. Give me the lamb.
Oh, the Lambs. All right, let's go. All right, we got another split game.
You know what? If he was gonna choose you first and you picked Seattle, I was gonna go Rams on that one.
I like it.
Oh, shoot. All right. Hey, we got Vikings, Broncos. Let's go, Mike.
Vikings, dude. I ain't picking no damn Broncos.
Yeah.
Matt.
No Broncos.
Okay. Vikings. Got you. All right, guys, and we're going to end with the last game here. Eagles, Chiefs. Bet.
And that's a good.
Whoa. Me?
They're both coming off a bye too, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh man. You know what? Give me Philly because I like watching Patrick Mahomes cry, bro. And I want to see his girlfriend like cry up in the stands or Kelsey's girlfriend cry in the stands or something. That'd be kind of cool.
All that.
All right.
All that. I'm taking Eagles too, man.
Yes. Sir.
All right. Oh, we got Eagles.
Think
Let's
those
go.
Chiefs?
Yes, sir. All right, fellas. Well, hey, and that's all we got for the Pick'em Challenge today. And hey, guys, I think that's all we got for today's show. So if you are a single lady in Las Vegas and needs self-protection, we have Gunny Raider available. Just so you guys know, he is available on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify. Click that download, click that subscribe. Hey, we'll get you some self-protection when you guys go to Allegiant Stadium. Nothing but the best self-protection team here at the Silver and Black Radio Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
That was for November 10th, man. That offer is expired.
Oh, no. That's expired.
Damn. You running old commercials, bro.
My bad.
I'm kidding, though. No. Anybody? Yeah, it's still on. I'll
Click like, click subscribe, and post in the comments. Let us know. All right, guys. Hey, as you guys all know, it's all about one nation, one team, and it's all red. Yes, sir. All right.